In this week's video, I'm going to do something different that I've never done before, and I'm going to play with the Cardo Edge and the software that now allows you to do voice recording onto your phone by just pressing this portion of the app and then press Start Record. It's something new that they've added. The only downside to this is that the audio has to be synced with the video at a later date and time. There's been a lot of efforts to Bluetooth it straight to the GoPros, and it does work, but the audio quality was a little bit low. So I'm going to try it here and see if the audio quality is better. And if not, are there settings that I can change to improve it?
Well, this is going to be a good day to test how well the recording system on the Cardo works. Lots of traffic noise, lots of wind, so we'll see how this goes. There's enough traffic here, I'm having a hard time getting out. It's just the tail end of spring break here in Florida, and we still have snowbirds, so we have a really lot of people down here right now. So here we go. Let's see how it does. I definitely need to be getting some time riding on the gear. It operates way differently than a regular motorcycle does. It downshifts, but you have to shift up, which is kind of an interesting concept. You'd have thought if it was auto down, it would be auto up. But it's still kind of fun, but it doesn't shift the same way a motorcycle does, though I found if you let off the accelerator ever so slightly, when you shift, it shifts just a little bit smoother. So I've got the mirror set up, head check. I'm going to do a lane change here. What I want to do is I want to get over into the neighborhoods where I can get off this busy road here. Be a little bit safer if I get back in the neighborhoods. Beautiful day though, not too hot out. We had a storm go through last night that brought some thunderstorms, heavy lightning, heavy rain. The heavy stuff missed us, but we're dealing with the wind today off the Gulf of Mexico. It's really breezy. I'm guessing gust up to 20-25 mile an hour, maybe more. I'm coming up on my turn here. Kind of interesting because this is the first time I've made the turn here on this particular intersection since they redid the road. I normally go a different way, but this time it worked out okay. Look how heavy that traffic is. That's crazy. That's all traffic coming out of the Cape on Cape Coral. Down at that light there, I don't know if you can see it in the video or not. That's Pine Island Road that goes out to Pine Island. Well, the lights changed. Hopefully I'll get a chance here to get going. So I make the turn here, the traffic will be a lot better, and then I'll be able to get back no problem. Okay, here we go. I'm going to sneak across. Perfect. Home's going in here. I'm not quite sure I'm down with that modern look on those flat-roofed homes, but I'm sure a lot of people like that modern look. I have in the past put the audio hardwired before, and that worked so. I was using GoPro Media Mod, and I found that the camera glitched a lot. Every time the camera glitched, because of the way the Media Mod is set up, you have to take the cord out, and then you have to take the whole Media Mod off to reset the GoPro. And that just got to be kind of a pain in the butt, because all too often it was happening, and when you're on the Trans-America Trail and back roads and stuff like that, it's just not necessarily easily to redo that. Now, I've been riding just to get extra wind on here with my face shield up, but now I'm heading to the wind, so I'm going to put the face shield down and see if that changes how things sound. Oh, I've got the shield down. And that maybe will cut some of the noise that's going across the microphone. I wish I could do a real-time check of this to see how it's working, because if it's not working, I wouldn't be wasting my time on it. And it looks like I might have lost my camera here. I did lose my camera. I'm filming now. For some reason, it shut off, but I'm filming again now. Now they're going right into this wind, boy. It's blowing the spider around quite a bit. You can see that flag there, how hard that wind's blowing. Hopefully the audio is recording. It appears to be, because it shows up on my phone that it is recording it. Now the downside to this particular way of doing it, it records the phone, which means it creates a different audio file than on your GoPro. But I've seen really limited success of Bluetoothing to the GoPro, like on the Hero 12, straight to the Cardo. The audio seems to be pretty bad. Definitely not as good as what it would be as if you had it hardwired through like the Media Mod for the GoPro. And I don't know how other cameras are set up, because I've never really used other cameras like the DJI cameras, which I hear are getting pretty good. But we've always used GoPro, and they've done a good job for us. If you can counter some of the glitches we've had with the earlier models. Now, the Hero 11 and Hero 12 I had no problems with. What a beautiful day. Wow. And I don't know if I've got my Hero 12 set up here in such a fashion that it times out. It's brand new, and the menu and settings look differently on it. And so they've done some upgrades, and I'm going to have to familiarize myself with the Hero 12 a little bit more so that I understand how it operates compared to the other ones. Because the prior models all had the same menu. And I'll wait my turn here. They're bigger than me. And here we go. If you're not familiar with Cape Coral, basically all this land was pretty low here, And what they've done is they've dug out these channels all through the Cape area and used that as fill. And not all of them connect out to the bay, but there are some on the far west of the Cape that the channels there do go out into the bay there by Pine Island Sound, and then you can get right out into Mexico. That would take you quite a while to do that, but you could definitely do it. Normally I would turn right there. I'm going to head just a little bit farther north. A little more remote here, and I can wind through the neighborhood there. I'm probably going to have to look down at the GPS, though, to make sure I'm on the right road. It's you get through there. I believe I have to go all the way up to the end of this road here and take a left. The camera shut off again, so it's only running certain clips and then it shuts off. So I'm going to have to figure out why it's doing that. But when I get back, I'll take a look at what I've got here on my audio and the film and see how that works out. Somebody sitting outside, enjoying the sunshine. This vehicle, I'm not quite sure what they're doing. Okay, up here at the stop here. Will get me back out to the main road. And I think I'll call it quits here. Just cut the recording off and we'll see how that turns out, and you can get an idea of how this works.
Now, as you could tell from the audio recordings and the video I took, that the Cardo struggles a little bit when the wind picks up, especially if your face shield is up. So there's some things that you can do to maybe mitigate that, and one of them is microphone sensitivity I've put to high, and voice recognition sensitivity I've put to high. And if you go to the advanced settings here, up here you'll have at the very top intelligent noise block, and I had that turned on, but I went ahead and turned that off, and I'm going to see if whether those changes will make the audio just a little bit better under full riding conditions when you're going at speed.
Well, I was traveling at 60 miles per hour, and I've reduced my speed now down to about 48 miles an hour, so the wind buffeting should be a little bit lower. It's still there, but I'll be reducing speed here even more as I get into the speed zone here. I'm down to 45 miles an hour to match up with the speed zone. And that may help the audio ever so slightly. We will see here. Oh, I'm going to check, see if there's a gator out here. There's always a gator. Oh, nope, not out today. There's usually a gator that sits out there on the point there at the church pond, which is kind of cool. But he wasn't out this afternoon. Anyhow, this audio, quite a bit of road noise as that truck goes by. I'll be reducing speed here shortly down to 35, and we'll see how that changes the quality of the audio. And then at the end of this video here, I'll give you my review and what I think is good about this and what I think is bad about it, and whether or not this would work for your setup. There's a really nice Charlotte Harbor Environmental Center here. I've never been in there, but they have all kinds of walkways, I understand. Okay, here's the 35-mile-an-hour zone, so I'll be reducing speed. And this gives me a good chance to see what it does basically at highway speeds and at slower speeds, because that does seem to make a difference. The wind buffeting goes down just a little bit. Though we do wear Arai helmets, and I got to tell you, these helmets are like top of the pyramid on quality, I believe. If they're not at the top, they're close to the top. They're really good helmets. They fit well, and they're the most comfortable I've ever worn in my life. And I've been riding a bike now for over 40 years. So, yeah, they make a big difference. Well, I'll conclude this little section here of the video, and we'll see what the audio is like when I get back to the house. See you in a minute.
Well, let's wrap this video up. So can you use the app for the Cardo to record audio? Yes, you can. Seems to work okay if you get your settings set up just right. And I believe that will also record any conversations that you have, which is kind of a nice feature. So who can best benefit from this feature that Cardo has? Well, I believe it's going to be moto vloggers. And the reason for that is they can start out from a stop with their camera already running and the audio already recording. That will sync up the video and the audio fairly well. However, there's some problems, and let me explain further. One of the biggest problems I see with using this setup is syncing the audio with the video. The audio comes with a date stamp, but it doesn't come with a time stamp. So if you have the date and time sent to your camera, you'll only get the date with the audio. That makes syncing it up in a timeline when you produce a video really difficult and a lot of extra work. Another problem I can see is you're shooting your video, you already have to start your camera, but then you also have to start the audio. On a motorcycle, these are pretty tricky things to do sometimes, especially depending on the terrain that you're riding over. So having to do two different devices and try to get them to sync up is really not very practical for travel like we do. Now, I have seen a bunch of videos out there where riders have synced the GoPro through the Bluetooth to the Cardo system that records dual soundtracks, one for the camera, and it also records a soundtrack for the Cardo unit. It looks like they're having some limited success with this, and it eliminates the timeline issue. However, when they would compare it to a hardwired system that they've used for quite a while now, the sound quality was better with the wire than it is with the Bluetooth. So you kind of have to pick your battles there on what you're looking for. If the audio can be a little less quality and that works for you, then it might work just fine. But if you're really looking for the best audio that you can get, the hardwire system is still the best. So where does this leave the consumers if you're trying to upgrade from a system that's a lot simpler to use than having to use the Media Mod, a wire, an extra mic? Well, we're kind of at the mercy of the companies. Between GoPro and Cardo and any other devices that use in-helmet sound communications, I believe that can be solved if they would like to solve it, but it would require them to get together and work the issue out between the two companies. And I'm not sure there's any advantage to the company's products if they do that. It wouldn't surprise me that if GoPro or Cardo comes up with a separate system altogether, and then we'll see whether or not that'll work. Maybe a few years down the line, but hopefully they will tackle this problem, because there's a lot of people that would take advantage if it existed where you could do a wireless audio that is really high quality. Well, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.